Oh, let me look at Bloom real quick. Um, that's also one that's been a little tricky. So it too is now kind of setting up whatever I don't really know anymore because this second wave is very deep. I don't think it's a second wave anymore. I think this one too is kind of being negated at this point. We're seeing quite the move down. Um, I don't have a good read. I just know that we haven't reached the upside targets yet. What it's trying to form here, is this a fourth wave of something? That's possible. That's why I have um, this support box here. This support box is really the last call for this upside setup. So we could be in a situation like this right now, where this was the third wave here, and now we're in the fourth wave. That's probably the best I can get at this point. Wouldn't need the retrace here because that's not relevant. Wouldn't need the upside yet because it hasn't started. But this is probably the best I have right now, is something like this, because it's kind of hung out here right at the third wave of a third wave target between the 100% extension and the 123.6. We're sideways through here, and I think it resolves with the lower low. And then it starts that move up. Again, how it might correlate, even though it doesn't have to, every chart is its own. How it might correlate with the S&P 500 is that the S&P 500 sees that lower low. We get that down here for the C wave of this fourth wave, and then when it turns around and the S&P 500 is bottomed, everything's ready, bottomed, it's gonna find that next move up here to rally. So I'm not all hope isn't lost yet here on Bloom, but um, it's one of those struggles where, like, okay, I'm not really sure where we are in the setup, other than the fact that in context it still shows me in a consolidation for a fourth wave of a third wave. That's the bigger picture. That's what we get out of this 1-2 here that has been working since December. So 1-2, 1-2-3, third wave of a third wave. We get the third wave up here. I still think we're there in a place to see that happen. But I think we're going to need, and we can even chart this out. I think the third wave high is here. We could see where this would target. The 100% extension winds up being right on that 78.6 point here. So, yeah, it overlaps. So there's good confluence here at the 78.6. That's the first support level for a fourth wave in a third wave. And it's also the 100% extension of this. So I wouldn't be surprised that we see 225 for Bloom in the coming week or so before it holds support and we see 5 up, and then we start this process up. That'd be cool. I would be a buyer down here to add to my position. I've been waiting to. And then maybe even on a breakout, see a 1-2 for this fifth wave of this third wave. That's probably a good spot to do it too. Maybe we even get the MACD to hold divergence on this. May not, but it may start to diverge though on the next move. It should start to come up for, what should be, this looks like the third wave of the C wave. That's why it's like kind of heading way down here quickly. And we get a third wave, fourth wave. We should start to see some divergence, and then ultimately hold this divergence, whatever it is, if it's here, if it's here. But that would be what I'm looking at. The divergences actually look much better on the higher degree, higher time frame levels. So that's still in play. I wouldn't get too panicky just yet.